Cherokee County. Please download the free WJRB app for Pat Malone and Harry Bond. I'm Jeff Batten.
Hi, this is Marvin Cooper with Bannister Cooper Funeral Home. At our funeral home, you won't want to ask for the man in charge. All I do is write the checks. My wife Tamala is the funeral professional, but I am good with finance and can tell you, in this time of high inflation, there is no better time to pre-plan a funeral. Gas prices are up. Food prices are up. Even dog food prices are up. Come lock in your funeral or cremation price today. We are Bannister Cooper Funeral Home, Towns County's local funeral home.
Don't wait to make plans to pamper Mom this year. She will love brunch at the Oaks Lakeside Kitchen at the Ridges Resort on Lake Chattooga, where the whole family can enjoy a beautiful meal, mimosas for Mom, and live music. Brunch is May 12th from 11 to 3 p.m. and features a chef's carving table, seafood paella, banana bread French toast, an ice cream sundae station, and more. For more information, to see the menu, and to make reservations, visit theridgesresort.com or call 706-896-4141. Have you been thinking about all the things you want to do, but you just don't have enough energy to do them? As the weather gets warmer, you need to visit the whole store in Murphy for all your herbs and vitamins. Countless customers depend on us for staying well. Life is good when you feel your best, and the whole store can get you on your way to feeling great. Open daily 10 until 3:30 p.m. The whole store, where quality counts. Lakeside Plaza, Murphy.
It's time now to honor the Prep Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Ware Chevrolet in Blairsville, supporting the champions of tomorrow from the 5-county area.
We're getting that much closer to the finals of the state playoff soccer tournament. The Towns County Lady Indians are still there after shutting out their Sweet 16 opponent Christian Heritage on Wednesday. They beat them 5-0. Chloe Sutton notched a pair of goals in the back of the net in that win. Congratulations to Chloe Sutton of Towns County, the Ware Chevrolet Athlete of the Week.
For 38 years, Logan Turnpike Mill in Blairsville has been crafting delicious stone ground mixes and flours, all hand packaged with care. It's no wonder why people across all 50 states, including past U.S. presidents, continue to choose our flours, pancake mixes, fry mixes, cornbread mixes, grits, and porridges. Our locally grown, stone ground, bleach-free products offer unbeatable taste and nutrition. Logan Turnpike Mill, next to the Hole in the Wall in Blairsville, and at LoganTurnpikeMill.com. Discover our mixes, jellies, local sorghum and honey, and more today.
Don't wait around for the ice cream truck. Blazin' Scoops in Hiwassee is scooping and hand dipping all the flavors of delicious Hershey's ice cream. Whether it's a waffle cone, cake cone, hot fudge sundae, banana split, or one of our delicious hot food items, Blazin' Scoops has something to satisfy your sweet tooth and cool you down this summer. Ask us about our event space, available for birthdays and special events. Blazin' Scoops is locally owned and operated in Hiwassee between AT&T and Van Keith Insurance. Blazin' Scoops, Hiwassee's downtown ice cream shop.
Fridays on the Dish are presented by Bannister Cooper Funeral Home in Hiawassee. The experts at Bannister Cooper will guide you through the important family conversations when it comes to making end-of-life arrangements for a loved one. Yes, we're Towns County's funeral home, but we're welcome to all. And now, back to the Morning Dish.
All righty, folks, we're back with you on this Friday edition of the Morning Dish. The weekend's coming, so I'm excited about that. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend. We've had some rain, so it's washed all the pollen away for a short period of time, I would say, but we're all back with it now. Anyway, we got Andrew CLyde coming in, and, you know, there's some stuff, I don't know if y'all noticed, and a lot of folks don't, and I didn't realize this the other day. I went to Bus Garage, and they jumped me on this just as quick as they could. They do me that way. And but anyway, on the ballot, there are actually more than just voting for local election stuff that's going on. There's actually questions that they've got. The Democrat questions are different than the Republican questions. Have y'all seen some of this? You can't nod your head.
I haven't.
You can't nod your head, Packy. You have to answer with radio. Anyway, some of the questions, like on the Democrat when you go up there, if you're a Democrat, they have got questions that, and I don't know how this works. I want to ask Andrew CLyde what his thoughts is on all this. Is this something that they're going to try to go on through there? But ban on assault rifles, or assault weapons, that is on the Democrat side of the thing. Questions: should the United States and the state of Georgia protect Georgians from gun violence by banning assault weapons and large capacity magazine?
What's an assault weapon? Is that one that looks scary, or? I
guess it could be. It could be a water bottle. It could be an assault weapon. Could it not be?
Yes.
But anyway, this is on the ballot. And then we also got on the Democrat ballot, question number 2, combating climate change. Should the state of Georgia the clean energy production as part of the climate policy. So there's you something else that they're wanting to work on the climate. Same-day voter registration to the state of Georgia expand voters assessed by allowing same-day voter registration, removing obstacles to voting by mail and making secure ballot drop boxes accessible at all times through the election. I vote no on that. I mean, so far I voted no on everything on the Democrat side. But this is kind of the stuff that they're voting on. Should the state of Georgia reproductive freedom production. This is should the state of Georgia protect reproductive freedom by repealing the current 6-week abortion ban, restoring productive of Roe versus Wade, ensuring access to contraceptives, IVM, abortion, and other reproductive health care. That's on their ballot, you know, and I don't understand. You don't have to reproduce; just don't reproduce. You know, that'd solve the problem right there.
Yep. If you want.
And then the taxpayer money on the private schools, they actually touched on that a little bit on the North Carolina. Looked like they're doing some of that stuff. But,
so this is all in North Carolina?
No, this is Georgia.
No, this is Georgia?
Yep. And
Okay.
also they got on the Democrat side, raising state minimum wage. Should the state of Georgia raise the minimum wage to a living wage? According to the Georgia Department of Labor, Georgia's minimum wage is $5.15 an hour, but the federal minimum wage is $7.25. Which one can we go by, Packy? I know. I think the station owner here, Jeff Batten, he goes by the Georgia minimum wage.
We go by the 5 foot. Well, wait a minute. We go by the 1975 Georgia $1.62.
And then should the state of Georgia improve access to safe, affordable housing by increasing the supply of affordable housing, protecting tenants, and from the mean old property managers. So that's on there. But then when you get down to the Republicans on the questions, hand-marked paper ballots for future elections. Do you want hand-marked paper ballots scanned and verified by hand count on live screen video? Do you want that? Well, I think that's a pretty good idea. What do you think, Pat?
I'm just going back to the background checks on the guns right now. That's the crazy one to me.
Yeah.
But
And should the legislature enact a fair tax replacing the state income tax with a state sales tax with a consumption tax equal to the current state funding and tax? So basically, you would sounds to me like a fair tax. I'm all about fair tax, and I think it ought to be across the board on that, all sales tax on that. And that's one of the things, like Florida and Tennessee, neither one have a state income tax.
Yeah, they just have the. Yeah.
And they probably raise more money with a tax, with a.
I'm sure they do because of all the tourists.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
closed primary election. Should the Georgia Republican Party have closed primary, meaning that only registered Republicans would be allowed to vote in the Republican Party? What do you think about that? I mean,
say it again. Hold on.
okay, so in the primary, can only registered Republicans vote in the primary? So what that's saying, a lot of folks cross over. All right, let's get the worst candidate in there. We're Democrats. We'll go vote for the worst candidate, get him in there, and then, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
I mean, I'm cool with that. What
Yep.
do you think, Pac? You always got something to say, hateful.
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 Well,
I mean, I think anything that will lead to more election integrity and more, it's like, and less confusion, they're against. Does that make sense? You know, like anything that is going to cause confusion, they're going to be for.
well, I'm with you on that, but I do think that it ought to be closed because and it happens the same way on the other side. Republicans can swap over and, you know.
Yeah, but I'm with Packy. I think sometimes they make it a little bit harder to confuse people, and that intimidation keeps people from voting. I don't.
It's like, I mean, it goes back to like the election, like the ID law.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can get an ID, and it's free.
But here's the thing.
There's no reason
Biden,
why you shouldn't have to show your ID to go vote.
Biden had that big fundraiser. Him and Obama and the guy with the blue dress. What's his name?
Clinton.
God,
Clinton.
blue dress.
They had that big gala up there raising all that money. Everybody had to be ID'd. You had to be ID'd. To get into their gala, but yet you don't have to.
Well, I mean, they had to protect the guy with the dress.
And they're all it's in a gated area.
Right.
And
Imagine
they're
that.
all protected by people with guns.
Yep.
Imagine that. Daggum
But
it.
yeah, let's just let anybody vote.
Would you support a statewide vote allowing gaming in Georgia so the voters can decide this issue instead of politicians in Atlanta? So they're wanting to know, and they were talking about bringing casinos to Georgia. And there's certain, I think that's the only thing that bothers me. There's certain people that can actually be eligible to do that, and it's kind of their buddies. Does that make sense? But I don't know, man. I just think, when you talk about that kind of stuff, I mean, you look at Vegas, it's like, oh, wow, they're so good. But then, the casinos want you to shop there.
Yes.
Eat there, spend your money there, nowhere else.
Stay in their hotel.
Yeah, and then it brings all kinds of other stuff.
Yes, it does.
Along with it. So, I don't, it's just kind of funny that on the Democrat side, the stuff they're voting on is restricting guns, opening abortions, property management. It really don't make much sense.
I agree.
Did you expect it to, though?
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, is that what they're totally concerned about? Is absolutely, if you want to protect people, don't ban guns, issue guns. Y'all ain't much help this morning,
No,
I tell you right now. Well,
I'm with you.
yeah.
So we need Pat here so we can yell at him, man.
Yeah,
That's the
Pat would
problem.
be like, I'm for banning assault.
But here you go. All three of us agree. So it's like, well,
Well, I mean,
there's
look,
nothing really.
Kennesaw did that. Kennesaw passed
Right.
a law one time. I think if you were a homeowner, you had to have a gun. I don't know if that's still in effect.
I think it is, yeah.
I think
But
you're
crime
right.
plummeted. Home break-ins plummeted.
Yeah. Wow.
So what are you coming up? I know you've been searching with the background checks. What exactly are...
Well, I mean, I guess the background checks don't really make sense to me because if you're a criminal trying to buy a gun, why would you go get a background check?
Well, I wouldn't go to a store to buy a gun.
Well, that's
if I
my
was a
point. Like,
criminal.
why
I'd
would
go-
you, if you know you're about to go get a background? I just don't understand how that helps.
It
Right.
doesn't.
It's
I
like-
don't, I don't
Well, it
think
sounds
does.
good on paper, though.
I know
so-
that's the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
why are you going to go to it? Like, I have a felony on my record, so why am I going to go to Cherokee Guns to try to go buy a gun when I know that I'm going to get turned down? I'm like, nope, you can't buy it. So how does that help? How does that help?
Doesn't.
Well, it looks good on
And if
paper,
you-
though.
And I understand it's for the gun show loophole or whatever, but now you're just, you can't stop people from selling their gun. So, like, if I sell Tamala a gun and Tamala's a criminal, I mean, and do I have to do a background check on that person now? You cannot stop people from. So the only way to stop it is by allowing people to have guns so they can protect themselves. You and I have talked about this before. The only bad thing that I can envision in a situation, say you're in a shopping mall,
Right.
and somebody comes in with a gun and say, like, everybody there's carrying, okay? Now, somebody comes in with a gun and they shoot somebody, right? And now I turn around and I'm like, I pull out my gun,
Right.
okay? And I see somebody shooting, so I pointed my gun at that person and I shoot. You can have a situation really, really fast where you don't know who the actual shooter is. That's the
Well.
only situation where I can foresee things be. So you just start blasting and shooting everyone. It's
So
like-
everyone is
yeah,
getting
like,
shot.
that's my only concern
Yeah.
with
That
that.
Sound
kind
like
of
I don't know, Peggy. I would.
Yeah.
I'd probably shoot you in the leg. I would. Yeah, just for fun.
yeah, like,
Well, I thought Peggy pulled a gun. I was scared, so I shot him in the leg. Oh. I don't know, man. That scenario you're talking about is just, one
it's
in a
unlikely.
million.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only situation where I could foresee that being.
But here's the thing,
but
man.
it
Are
all
you going
comes
to ban
back.
all
That's
weapons,
the
all
thing.
assault weapons?
The
And they
point-
say AR, assault rifle. That ain't even what AR stands for.
Armalite rifle.
I mean, honestly. And it looks wicked. I mean, it does. It looks like an awesome gun, but I've got a shotgun that looks just like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, it looks like a military-issued gun. Oh, wow. And that kind of thing. I can do just as much damage or more with a 30-30. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I mean, they're
Absolutely.
pretty. I mean, I would argue that. I mean, I'm sure you know more about guns than me, but I mean, for as far as tactical reasons.
well, I
being
do know which end you point away from you, Peggy. If that's what you're saying, yes, I do know a little more about
Wait, so
it.
the thing
That's
you look
good.
down, that's which.
Yeah, you look
The
down.
thing you look down the hole, that's where it comes out of, right? No, so for if you wanted to do a lot of damage, you could do a lot of damage with a gun like that. They're very tactical, and very. You can mod them. You can make a lot. You can
make any
make them
gun.
very dangerous.
You can make any gun dangerous.
but
Just
you-
give it
you
to Peggy.
can-
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
You wanna make a gun, just give it to Peggy.
Instant.
But they're very. You can mod them very well and make them hold a lot of rounds where you could do a lot of damage with them. But it doesn't like this.
But it's not
my
just
opinion on
AR. I mean, there's many
but
of 'em out
your
there,
opinion
doesn't
on it doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. It's the Second Amendment in the period at the end of shall not be infringed. That's what matters.
And what is the Constitution for? What is it for? It's to protect us from who?
It really it's to limit the government's rights.
It's to protect us from the government.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
honestly,
is.
that's what it's all about. So they're trying to take. And this reproductive freedom, question number 4 that they've got on there, I just don't understand how you can support abortions. I just don't see how you can do it. There's so many, and the main thing about it, and I can understand there's some health issues that come in. along the way with this kind of stuff and that. Now, you know, that's a little bit above me, but just for
Birth control.
birth control.
Yeah.
That's like 99.99%
Of the abortions.
I was talking with somebody the other day who's running for an office, and this person said, as passionate as we are of not understanding that, the other side is that passionate about us being like, well, why wouldn't they see it our way? And that's scary.
Well, I mean, golly, it's just murder.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
But on their side, they think that's an absolute appropriate thing. And I don't know how.
But now you do that to a puppy
they
or something
do.
like that, they'll throw you in jail. I mean, it's crazy when you think animals
Yes,
have more rights
they
than
do.
people do.
or a bald eagle egg.
Yeah,
Yes.
do that, see what happens to that.
Yeah, you're going to prison.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you. I don't understand it. It seems, I don't know. How during their raising, what happened
Well, it's
to
just
make that okay?
They didn't go to church. That's what happened. They didn't read the good book. Because, I mean, there's no way that you can read the Bible and vote for what they're
for abortions. Yeah.
or for what they stand
And
for.
I'm with
I
you.
mean,
I
for what they
understand the
stand for right
medical-
now. And I know we have got these old dog Democrats, and that's what we call them, old dog Democrats. And I've got friends that's Democrats, and but there are a lot of them old dog Democrats, they call them. That's what we call them around here, that are conservative, more in line with the Republican thing. But then you've got the new Democrats that are so far out there. I mean, they're on abortion. They're all about the transgender movement. You got to hire them if they're weird, you know.
Yeah, and I'm so over that.
I mean, going back to the gun thing, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, your opinion on it doesn't matter. And, like, the Supreme Court was wrong to begin with for allowing that to happen. Section 1 says, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
Right.
That is in the Constitution. Our opinion on abortion doesn't matter.
Doesn't
It
matter.
is in the Constitution.
I don't even understand why we're arguing about this kind of stuff. You shouldn't have to argue about this. This
No,
should
it was
not even
already
be in the
decided.
question. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
And we got all these people that's protesting for death to America and all that. And Pat gets on to me about that. Well, you can't do that. You can't do that. They're not for us. If they ain't for us, they're against us. So if they're against us, I say let's get them out of here. But anyway, hey, we're about 8:30, so we probably need to take a break. We come back. Surely we'll have Andrew CLyde. I hope he ain't give up on us yet. Because how many times we had him on so far?
This
Twice?
is his fourth time. Yeah.
Fourth?
Mm-hmm.
Fourth
You've
time?
been on vacation twice since he's...
Y'all kind of scheduled that up for some reason.
Yeah, he requested that. I
Did he
think.
really?
Yeah.
Oh well, what are you gonna do? So, I wish they ought to vote. These votes though ought to be on both sides instead of the Republican side. You think
Yes.
some of the laws that's going to be affected, but I don't know how this works. Why are they on the ballot? Is this something they're going to? If it passes and everybody's for it, then it's going to go on into law. I don't know. I should know that. You would think, me being 55 years old,
You would know.
but I can't even tell you where Iraq's at. You know, I know it's over down South America somewhere. We're in South America. It's like South America. So who knows? Take us away. Let's go to break.
All right. Today's show is brought to you by Bannister Cooper Funeral Home. One of the biggest misconceptions is that we actually live at the funeral home, and we don't. But we are around 24/7. Somebody is on call for all of your needs. You can reach us at 706-896-2218 or stop by next to McDonald's in Hiawassee. This is Tamala Cooper. A family recently told me that what they love most about our funeral home is that we feel like home and family. I'd like to introduce you to the newest member of our family, Kristen Carvajal.
Come by and meet me. Pick up a calendar and let us answer any questions you might have about funerals, pre-need, or cremations. We are Bannister Cooper Funeral Home, Towns County's local funeral home.
We are located next to McDonald's in Hiawassee, or give us a call, 706-896-2218.
Jackie Jones, Jackie Jones, Jackie Jones.
A better solution for basic vehicle service has come to the mountains. Quick Lane at Jackie Jones Ford Hayesville is your go-to place for routine auto maintenance for all vehicle makes and models. Get extraordinary service from expert technicians and take advantage of our low-price tire guarantee at Jackie Jones Ford Hayesville and jjfordhayesville.com.
Jackie Jones Ford.
We all
know Union General Hospital for helping those of us who are getting up in age, but their affiliate, Union General Child Care, is the place for little ones and future scholars. Their pre-K program is now accepting enrollment for the 2024-2025 school year. Availability is limited, but tuition is free through the state-funded program. Again, enroll your child now for the 2024-2025 pre-K program. Call Union General Child Care at 706-439-6840 to sign up.
West Tubing Company is back and ready to kick off the season. Come to Brasstown Creek. Enjoy locally sourced food, our full bar, and shopping at the Outpost. We also offer camping and glamping, venue rentals for your special occasions, and live music from 6 to 9 on Saturdays. West Tubing Company, now ready for another great season. Come join us on Old Highway 64 in Warren, North Carolina, a short trip from anywhere in the mountains. As our slogan states, we are not your ordinary tubing company.
Warm weather rocks in Union County. Attention foodies. The farmers market opens June the 1st and the cannery is open to the community. Love history? Be sure to visit the Reese Farm and Heritage Center for fishing, picnicking, and more. Jump in the swimming pool at Meeks Park or head on over to Poteet Creek Campground for campground, boat ramp, and beach area for swimming. Golfers tee it up at Butternut Creek Golf Course with a meal at the View Grill afterward. And Meeks Park is your home for festivals and fun all summer long. It's all right here in Union County.
This is Tamala Cooper with Bannister Cooper Funeral Home, and I left my husband and staff unattended for a few hours, only to find out I have been given a nickname, which happens to be a rodent. In our line of work, you have to maintain a sense of humor, but I think these guys took it a little far this time. Come by and give them a hard time with me, and while you're there, let's go ahead and get your wishes in writing. Pre-planning your wishes doesn't have to be somber. We are Bannister Cooper Funeral Home, Towns County's local funeral home.
Pre-planning for your burial or cremation wishes doesn't have to be a downer. Drop into Bannister Cooper Funeral Home for a relaxed and comforting conversation with their team. Bannister Cooper Funeral Home, next to the McDonald's in Hiawassee. We love drop-ins.
All righty, we're back with you, and we have got Andrew CLyde on with us. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Well, good morning. I'm doing great. Who do we have with us?
We have got Stephen Phillips, we got Packy, and we've got The Undertaker.
Okay, I don't know if I want to talk to the Undertaker.
Oh, man, there ain't no doubt. She'll be the last one you see, man, I guarantee it. But the owner of Bannister Cooper Funeral Home up here, yep.
And this Tamala Cooper, she is the coroner of Towns County.
I am.
Yep.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
It might be a conflict of interest that she's the coroner and the owner of a funeral home, but
No,
you know,
it is
whatever.
not. Do not say that.
She slides
Oh
that.
my
She slides that
gosh.
business card in there. You know.
I'm gonna hurt you.
Oh, no.
Physically.
Lord. Always good to talk to you, man. The first question we got is, how screwed are we really?
Good place to start.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, we've had some interesting things happen this week in Washington, and I want to highlight, I think, one of them that we've been working on for a very long time, and I think that it's absolutely critical to America, and that is protecting election integrity.
Absolutely.
We passed the Equal Representation Act, and that act requires that representation or the apportionment of congressional seats, and therefore presidential electors that go with them, all right, only be U.S. citizens, and that's it. And that has been a real problem for us for a very long time because the census has been used to count everybody in the whole country, and then everybody, which means illegals as well as as permanent residents and citizens. That number, that total number, has been used to calculate congressional seats, the apportionment of congressional seats for every state. And so this particular act, the Equal Representation Act, trims that down, puts a citizenship question there that then makes it so that you have only citizens that are, only the number of citizens that are used to determine the representation of congressional seats. And that is so critical because only citizens can vote in federal elections.
Well, you would think, I mean, that's pretty much common sense, but what kind of pushback are you getting on this?
Oh, well, we passed it in the House.
Right.
We passed it in the House, all Republicans. I don't think we had a solitary Democrat that supported it, of course.
Right.
But and then along with it, Chip Roy, a good friend of mine, introduced what's called the SAVE Act, or the Safeguarding American Voter Eligibility Act this week, and I was a co-sponsor on it. And that requires proof of citizenship in order to register to vote in a federal election. So that's another critical aspect right there. So we are moving forward in the House with bills that will help safeguard our federal elections. And one thing I wanted to circle back to on the electors aspect of it,
right.
You get one presidential elector for every House seat and every Senate seat. So therefore, when you have more House seats in blue states like California,
right.
that gives them more power, or more influence, I should say, over the presidential election. And when more red states get more congressional seats, then we get more influence in the presidential electors.
Well, it's aggravating. Like in elections, you look like the state of Georgia, and the whole state is red except for the Atlanta area, and they pretty much determine the election.
For entire statewide offices, they do have significant influence. But, that's why it's so critically important that everybody get out to vote, and that we have folks in the election offices, all right, during the election, that actually are monitors and can participate and be that check and balance to make sure that we don't see shenanigans like we saw in 2020.
Hey, I'm with you, man. 100% on that. And it's funny that you say none of the Democrats voted for this. And I don't understand. I do understand why they didn't vote for it. But how could you not vote for this? I mean, it only makes good sense. And but that's the world we live in today. Now, on the ballot for Georgia, we've got a lot of questions that they're asking, about the hand-marked paper ballot scanners and fair tax and all that kind of stuff. Are you familiar with that?
Well, I know that that the paper ballots that are being printed, that when you actually go vote, and got to remind folks, we've got a primary election here coming up next week. So everybody needs to get out and vote on Tuesday, all right? Actually, the 21st.
Right.
So a week and 10 days or so. But those ballots, you just have to make sure that when the paper ballot is printed, that you verify that paper ballot is exactly what you marked.
Right.
Okay? And if you do that, then I think we've got fair confidence. Because then we can go back and count those paper ballots if we ever need to. And I know some counties just do it automatically. They go and they look at those paper ballots and they go, all right, we're going to manually count those to make sure it matches to what the machine scanned. So that's a great, double check.
And Democrats are not for this, right?
Oh, they're not for anything in election.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that anything that causes confusion, they're for, it seems
right.
like. Is that fair to say? It's like if it can make things complicated and make things convoluted, then they're for it.
Oh, absolutely. Just like the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, when I had him before me in a subcommittee hearing a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about ID, requiring ID for voting. And he said he thought it was unconstitutional. That there could be a case where it was unconstitutional. If the state required you to pay for your ID, then it would be unconstitutional, kind of like a around the bush, beating around the bush poll tax. And I'm like, no. I mean, I've never voted where I haven't been required to show an ID, so they know that I'm the one who actually voted on the line that said Andrew CLyde.
Right. Well, I mean, if you buy alcohol, you have to gift your ID out there. What's the daggum difference?
Or if you go on an airplane, if you buy a firearm, I mean, you name it. There are hundreds of transactions in our daily lives that require an ID, and voting is one of the most critical ones. It should be the most secure one, and one of the questions I should ask him is, well, if you are not in favor of me having having to show an ID to exercise my First Amendment rights and my right to vote, then I guess you shouldn't shouldn't be in favor of me being required to show an ID to exercise my Second Amendment.
Right. Right. I hate that, though.
No.
After it's all said and done, then you think of the questions. I should have asked that. Dadgummit. Oh, well,
but there
tell
really
us.
isn't anything in the Constitution that would say, that you couldn't make that law, that you would have to show ID to vote. And so the only thing that they really have is anytime that comes up is, well, it's racist and it disproportionately affects black people. But that's almost insulting to them, because why wouldn't black people be able to get an ID? Everybody can get an ID. It's free.
I just,
Correct.
They keep
You're absolutely right.
throwing the black people out there, but they're Americans just like we
Right,
are.
and they're not. They're perfectly capable of
The
it.
majority of them are sick of this, and they got this one little group that keeps everything fired up. But I think everybody wants to prosper. Everybody wants a fair election, and the mess we're in right now, I don't know how we're going to get out of this. This is just, honestly, it just keeps going down and down and down. But that is a move in the right direction. So you've got this voted in. So now this bill is going to the Senate, I guess?
Yes, it will go to the Senate next, absolutely. And we've got to figure out a leverage point where we can force the Senate then to take it up and to vote on this. There's a lot of vulnerable Democrats that are senators that are looking to move our way when it comes to border security and that sort of thing. And so for them to take up a bill like this, there's a greater possibility of it. Like John Tester just came out and said that he was willing not only to vote for, but to co-sponsor the Lake and Riley Act.
Right.
And, you all know the story of Lake and Riley and,
Yes.
and the absolute tragedy in Athens that happened here with her being murdered by an illegal alien that was brought in under the Biden under the Biden administration's parole program.
Right.
And it was tragic and brutal what happened to her, and that guy right there, is a perfect example of what should never have been allowed to happen. And so, hopefully, with now John Tester on board, the first Democrat on board the Lake and Riley Act, hopefully, then we'll get a few more, and maybe they'll get a vote on that act in the Senate, and we'll be able to pass that, and that will assist in improving border security.
Well, that's one thing. Everybody talked about Lincoln Riley. That was one issue that went headlines everywhere. But there's more. There's a lot more that same incident has happened, not necessarily in deaths, but in rape and then all that stuff that goes on with these illegal aliens that don't come to the headlines. But a lot of folks in local areas know it's going on. And I think enough's enough. I'm with you. We need to ship them out of here, shut it down, and get America back.
Well, I'm looking forward to the greatest deportation operation in the history of our country when President Trump gets elected. And that's one of the things that is so critical. We have got in the House to be focused on this election in November and passing bills that divide the Democrats and that unite the Republicans and send messages to the American people of how the Democrats have been voting and how they have been destroying our country, how they have been promoting illegal immigration, which promotes violent crime from these, terrible and barbaric people that come in and commit these heinous crimes like what happened here at the University of Georgia with Lake and Riley. We need to be doing that and focus because we have to change the executive and we have to keep the House too, because if we don't keep the House, then we're going to see just like what happened to President Trump when Nancy Pelosi became Speaker, impeachment after impeachment after impeachment. You think it was bad under Nancy Pelosi? Hakeem Jeffries is going to be way worse when it comes to impeaching and trying to destroy the policies and the agenda of a new president, of President Trump. That's exactly what would happen if we lose the House. So we have to keep the House too.
Yeah.
Andrew, I got one question for you. So you mentioned Republicans sticking together. I read you a quote really fast. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I triggered my motion to vacate yesterday because Mike Johnson refused to commit to defunding special counsel Jack Smith. Now he's not just saying he won't defund it, he's promising to protect it. If the Democrats saving Mike Johnson's speakership didn't convince you he's in fact their Speaker of House, this should. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'll tell you something. We actually had an amendment to defund Jack Smith. It was made in order by Mike Johnson and by the Rules Committee under Mike Johnson's leadership. It was my amendment. I actually introduced that amendment. I'm on the CJS subcommittee, Commerce, Justice, Science subcommittee. I introduced that amendment. And that amendment was made in order when it went to the House floor. Okay, it just didn't get a vote because the CJS appropriation bill actually didn't get a vote on the House floor. So it's a little disingenuous for Marjorie to say that, because Mike Johnson actually did approve that amendment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got to defend the Speaker a little bit on that. There's a lot of things about the Speaker I don't like.
Right.
A lot of things that he didn't do right. Okay, but in that regard, he did do that right.
Right.
Okay, and right now we don't have a funding mechanism. In fact, I was actually speaking to the Speaker about it yesterday. We have to have a funding mechanism to attach that amendment to, and I think the next available one is going to be the end of the year. Either a CR to push 2025 funding into a President Trump presidency, where we can actually do good things with it, or maybe the FAA reauthorization, which we're going to be working on next week. That I'm not sure if we can do it. I'm not sure if it will be, made in order because of the single subject aspect of legislation. But that amendment was there, and it was approved by the Speaker.
We got one more thing that Pat Malone asked yesterday, and he's not here. What was the question?
Well, we were talking about a little bit yesterday with the anti-Semitism bill. Now, we asked our buddy Pat Malone. He said, you got to bring him up on this, and he was kind of being critical of you for not voting for that. And I tried to explain to him why that is a violation of, and hate crimes in general, just kind of a violation of that. Tell us why you didn't vote for that.
Well, number one, you're right. When it comes to hate crimes bill, those are thought crimes. And I'm sorry, I don't believe in thought crimes. I believe in, when you have a crime, it has to be an action. Okay, thought is freedom in America. People are free to have whatever thoughts they want. Okay, it's when actions cross the law when that becomes an actionable offense. But this is the issue. It was the definition of anti-Semitism. When it included an aspect, something that the Bible talks about, and when an actual definition of anti-Semitism included that the Jews killed Jesus, and they called that anti-Semitic.
Right.
I'm sorry, I cannot vote for something that says a passage in the Bible is anti-Semitic. And if we could have changed the definition of anti-Semitism,
right,
then I would have been 100% for that bill. But you can't. I will not vote for a bill that says anything in our Holy Scriptures is anti-Semitic, because it is not.
Absolutely.
And that is why I voted against the bill.
Well, man, we do appreciate what you're doing. Keep fighting the fight and hanging in there. I bet you go home in the afternoon sometimes so frustrated and mad you just...
You just described my day sometimes.
Oh, man. I feel like that every day after the morning dish here, man. I know how you feel. But anyway, hey, man, we'll catch up again in a couple of weeks, and we do appreciate you calling in.
Sounds good. I look forward to it, gentlemen. Always good to talk to you.
You too,
Ladies,
brother.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Yep, you take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks. We sure do appreciate him coming on and a lot of stuff going on. We're trying to keep you up with it, but we can just do so much, right?
It's a lot of information.
We appreciate you setting up those interviews for us, Steve.
You're welcome.
You do
I
really
got-
good around
hey,
here sometimes,
I got John Schneider's maid one time.
I thought it was a pool boy.
Might have been. I couldn't remember. I couldn't tell the difference. Could you? Take us away.
All right, today's show is brought to you by Bannister Cooper Funeral Home. We want to get your wishes in writing, so give us a call or drop by next to McDonald's in Hiawassee, or 706-896-2218.
Physical therapy at Erlanger Western Carolina Hospital helps patients return to living and moving pain-free after a physical injury, illness, stroke, or surgery. Now accepting new patients. Call 828-837-7777.
McDonald's bagels are back. It's been a while, so I'm going to rate the steak, egg, and cheese bagel on a scale of 1 to 10. Oh, wow. It's given a 10. I can taste the tender, juicy steak patty and savory grilled onions. I can't wait to have a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel or a sausage, egg, and cheese bagel. Plus, I can get a medium iced coffee for just $1.99. Oh, let me take another bite of this bagel. Oh, yeah, definitely a 10. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Did you know the warranties on a Green Tree metal roof are at least double the lifespan of most shingles? Install a Green Tree metal roof in one of nearly 20 vibrant colors and you'll get a 30-year chalk and fade warranty and a lifetime film integrity warranty against cracking and peeling. Green Tree's Energy Star certification means you'll also get lower power bills. Learn more about the benefits of a Green Tree metal roof at greentreemetals.com.
Green Tree Metal, coolest roof around.
Leon's Floors in Blairsville has been serving the entire North Georgia and Western North Carolina area since 1977. They're experts in all types of flooring and installation for residential and commercial projects. Leon's Floors is a multi-generation family-owned business with a long-standing reputation for knowledge, professionalism, and integrity. Your new floors will look great and provide years of lasting satisfaction. Their huge variety of materials and styles can be seen at their convenient showroom at 568 Murphy Highway in Blairsville or call 706-745-9433.
Improving our patients' dental health one smile at a time. Dr. Jared Houston, Dr. Courtney Marshall, and Dr. Tom Mims and the staff at Valley River Dental live by that principle every day. Get expert care within a broad range of services from preventive dentistry and periodontal treatments to dental implants and orthodontics. Or maybe it's just about perfecting a beautiful smile. So, if you're looking for a new dentist, consider Valley River Dental Dentistry in Murphy on Bill Hughes Avenue in Murphy.
Chris here with a Loaded Cow. One question I get often is, does your strawberry ice cream have real strawberries? I'm proud to say that we use real fruit in all of our fruit flavors. Not only does our strawberry ice cream have real strawberries, but our peach has real peaches, raspberry has real raspberries, and yes, our banana flavors contain real bananas. We believe fresh fruit is the only way to make our utterly loaded with flavor ice cream. Come by the Loaded Cow and pick up a pint and taste for yourself the difference that real fruit makes.
Regain the ability to perform everyday activities after a debilitating injury or illness. Choose occupational therapy at Erlanger Western Carolina Hospital. Now accepting new patients. Call 828-837-7777.
Fridays on the Dish are presented by Bannister Cooper Funeral Home in Hiawassee. The experts at Bannister Cooper will guide you through the important family conversations when it comes to making end-of-life arrangements for a loved one. Yes, we're Towns County's funeral home, but we're welcome to all. And now, back to the Morning Dish.
All righty, folks, we're back with you. Hope everybody's doing good. With a big shout out to Georgia Mountain Grading. I know we've had all these floods going on and your driveways washed away with big ruts and all that kind of stuff in them. Give Georgia Mountain Grading a call. They are locally owned and operated, family run, and they come out there and save you some money, fix your driveway, and then, man, you'll be ready to rock and roll. So we do appreciate them. They are good people, and they're actually friends of ours. So that being said, we're going to give away a pizza from Papa's Pizza to Go with 3 locations. Love that place, and I like the wings about as much as I do the pizza. I love y'all going to think I'm kind of getting soft here a little bit, but they got that cauliflower pizza. Man, I love that thing. I am not kidding you.
Cauliflower crust.
Oh, I love it.
I've been hanging out with Harry too long.
I have been. That's rubbing off on me a little bit. But anyway, Tamla Cooper has come up with us a question, something about rigor mortis. How long? What was it?
Oh, my goodness, no.
If you can answer this question about rigor mortis, then give us a call, 706-379-9770. What's the question? I don't know. I'll get it all mixed up.
You're awful. Okay. What's the most popular day of the year to order pizza in the United States?
The most popular day of the year to order pizzas. Y'all get on the phone. Give us a call, 706-379-9770. And we have got you a pizza right here with Papa's Pizza to Go, 3 locations. So can't go wrong with that. But anyway, so it is Friday, the last day of the week. And, man, it's going to be great. Got 2 more weeks of school at Towns County.
Yeah.
I don't know about Union and Clay and the rest of them, but I know Towns is out. And this is everybody's counting them down.
Yeah.
Counting them down. So them kids will be at home, and I know all them parents are like, oh, man, 2 more weeks, and these kids are going to be here all day long.
All day.
Yeah.
All day.
Anyway, I reckon it looks like Biden gives a 3-word response when asked if he'll debate Trump.
No.
Who is Trump?
Who is
3
Trump?
words. 1, 2, 3. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Who is Trump? Oh, yeah, I reckon he said he's ready to go. Bring it on. Bring it on. So
That's going to be great.
That's going to
really
be
hope
awesome. That ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen.
I don't know, man.
It ain't
they
gonna
might
happen.
juice him up again.
I don't
Might
know.
juice him up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he'll have to take a break and go hit a. But anyway, three words. I'm happy to debate him. I'm happy to debate him. I'm
That's
happy
5
to
words.
debate him. That's 5 words,
That's
ain't it?
5 words. Definitely.
Well,
5
that's coming
words.
from the Biden administration. What do you expect? Who we got, Puddin'?
We got Nancy Woodard this morning.
Hey, Nancy, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm still on this school bus.
Oh,
Somebody
you-
has to sweep them and get the trash off, right?
Oh, you do. Do you sweep your bus?
Yeah, down here in Cherokee County.
I don't never sweep mine. I figure if them kids can live with it, I can too.
Oh, me. I think they behave better if the bus is clean.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. So how many pencils do you get daily on your bus? That's the biggest thing we have on my bus is pencils.
Oh, yeah. I gather them up on 4 buses because I clean 4 different ones.
Yeah.
And I got a handful to turn into the library about every week.
There you go. I just open the back door up and take a leaf blower and just blow all of it out the back.
I know. But I just pick, most of them are brand new. You know, these kids act like they're just coming from the skies or something.
Yeah. Spoiled
You're
rotten.
not going to use them, except to break them up and throw them at something.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, what is the question again?
What is the most popular day of the year to order pizza in the United States?
Okay, I know at my house, it's the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Super
You got
Bowl.
it. Super Bowl Sunday.
There you
Super
go.
Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sundays. All right, girl, you're a winner. Swing by here, pick up your ticket. We're out of time. We sure appreciate you calling.
Thank you.
All
Y'all
right.
have a good day. I listen every morning while I clean these buses.
Hey, we love you, girl. All righty,
Hey,
folks.
we've got the big Women's Enrichment Center Family Resource Annual Yard Sale and Barbecue that's happening today,
Yep.
May the 10th, 8 to 5 at the Union County Farmers Market. Go support these guys.
Yep, get over and get you some goodies. No doubt. That's a good organization. Tama, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back bright and early Monday morning. Y'all have a good weekend.